They all told us to endure and be patient, but 141 million Nigerians are about to hit the breaking point. Remember this administration, they keep talking about patience, just like a pregnant woman. Everything will be alright, we have to exercise patience. May 29th will make it 3 years of this present administration. Now, here comes the PwC bombshell. The PwC just released their 2026 outlook and the numbers are terrifying. If you think things are good now, wait until you see what's coming. It's not about talking about God help us or God is with us or God will do it. It's about walking, because God helps those who help themselves. You can't just keep calling God, but you have to put your action. You have to make input before he answers you. So now, what am I talking about? We are looking at over 62% of Nigerians. That is high. That is more than half of the population of Nigerians classified as poor or living in extreme poverty by the end of 2026. In case you don't understand, the number is 141 million Nigerians. What is the definition of poverty? The definition of poverty is those making less than $1.90 in a day. What is $1.90 in a day in Naira? If you use the exchange rate of $1 to 1,450 Naira, you are looking at 2,775 Naira a day. If you multiply that by the standard 30 days in a month, you are looking at 83,000 Naira. So what this report says is that by the end of 2026, more than 141 million Nigerians and 62% of Nigerians will not be able to earn even 83,000 in a month. That is poverty. Even at the 83,000 Naira, it doesn't go anywhere. How many? We are talking about minimum wage of 70,000 that many of the states haven't even paid. We're talking about gratuity. So it doesn't go anywhere. Now, good morning and good evening to you wherever you are watching me from. If you enjoy my podcast, smash that like button, follow, subscribe, and share. The PwC dropped a bombshell report called Turning Macroeconomic Stability into Sustainable Growth. But for the average Nigerian, there's nothing sustainable about that report. There's extremely nothing sustainable. Instead, it's sustaining poverty. There's nothing. Because now, this present administration always brags about making tough decisions and policy changes that they say is going to or has impacted us. What are some of these policy tough decisions? We're talking about the fuel subsidy removal, the Naira floating. While in theory, while on paper, this looks commendable, this looks great, in reality, it's not reaching our pockets. Nigerians are not feeling it. Forget about what the Bureau of Statistics tells you. These guys have changed how they calculate the inflation. They've enticed and made the numbers look better, look more friendly. Change how they base and they rebase these inflation numbers. And this is why when you look at the numbers, the numbers look so good, but the average Nigerian is not feeling it. Look at houses. You look at Enugu, for example, a 2-bedroom house in MNF, for example, you're looking at more than 450,000 Naira every year to 500,000. I'm talking about outskirts of Enugu town. So if you earn 70,000 every month as the minimum wage, how can you pay your rent? How can you send your kids to school? How can you buy gas or fuel of 1,000 Naira or over 1,000? So we are currently living in a growth that we can't feel. We have still seen it. And remember, the problem I have is this present government based all their campaign on building on the legacy of Buhari. And this is the reason I don't believe what they tell me about the election. Because these same people, or the same individuals or citizens cannot complain about Buhari and call him all sorts of names. Even though the INEC kept playing with the numbers and he kept winning election. But the people were always complaining. In reality, then when it was time for this present government, they claimed they were renewing hope. The hope started by Buhari. They were building on Buhari's legacy. And I asked, what are the legacies? Legacy of kidnapping, spray in the whole country? Legacy of poverty? Legacy of inflation? So what are we really building on? You look at a country where over 141 million Nigerians are classified as poverty or living poor or living below the poverty line. That is massive. That means there's no middle class no more. The middle class has been cut off. It's either you are rich or you are poor. We're not talking about when these individuals fall sick, when they have to go to the hospital. We're not talking about emergencies. There's no social net. There's no social benefit from the government. None. There's none. The talking point number one is that most Nigerians do not see income increases that match the rising costs. They don't. The costs keep increasing. And you know one of the reasons why these costs keep increasing? Because most of the products we use are imported. So if your Naira keeps depreciating, or any inflation that happens in the US is also going to affect you, or in Russia, or in Croatia, or whatever country you import your products from, or even in France. So if every item in France, or for example, adds 2 euros, even though your Naira is steady against the euro, by the time they buy it and they bring it, logistics also, you have to pay for the transportation. You have to pay for the extra 2 euros. And you know what it means in Naira. So in order for you to meet up with the rising costs, your Naira or your salary or your wages have to be also increasing to match. Remember, the other imports, the other items you import are rising in foreign currency. Yours is rising in Naira. So even if inflation in your country reduces, because you live on imports, we don't produce anything. We are the factories. How many foreign investments? Forget about what the numbers they give you. The manufacturer numbers, FDI, they pay for foreign direct investment, 60 billion. Forget about the 60 billion. Let's go with one state. Let's go with Abia State, for example. Let's go with Enugu State, for example. Let's go with Ogun State, for example. How many factories were opened in that state for that year? Not even factory. How many small and medium enterprise was started that year? How many? Those numbers are more numbers they loot, and we don't care about those numbers. We don't care. You put number in Nigeria to dodge taxes or whatever, you tell me you attracted a foreign direct investment for 60 billion, 70 billion dollars. No. I'm looking at employment. Well, let's not even go with factory. How many local companies were established that year? You look at your streets. How many people are employing? You rather have people closing down than opening up. So how you look at so many states, more than 50% of the states, the bulk of the people living there are civil servants. Yet they bring up these numbers about FDI. So why won't we be poor when almost everybody in that state depends on government salary? You look at Osun State, for example. Look at Ekiti. If you look at Bayelsa also, you look at, apart from the oil, both from the informal sector and from the formal sector, you know what I call the informal sector of oil. Bulk of the people, they are civil servants or federal workers. So that means there's no employment. That means there's no FDI. And this is why this report is telling you that more than 141 million Nigerians are going to earn more than 83,000 Naira in a year of 2026. The reason for that is weak job creation, productivity issues, and inadequate safety nets. I emphasize so much on safety net. I got you. Let me explain on the safety net now. Let me compare Nigeria and the US, for example. I'm not going to use any other European country. You pay high taxes, yes, so much taxes, not as much like you pay in Europe, but you pay a lot of taxes. But let's go with the SNAP, food stamps. It comes as food stamps a week. More than 41 million Americans benefit from these food stamps. Out of a population of over 350 million, more than 41 million, that is 12%, have free food coming monthly. How many Nigerians have that from the government? How many? How many? But they tell you we've saved all your subsidy money. What did you do with the money? You sent it to the governors. How does that impact or improve the life of the average Nigerian? That you sent money to the same politicians who loot this money. Who are these economists running the country? This same politician, a president, is telling you that he's saving money for you. At the end, when he finishes saving this money, he sends it to the governors that cannot even pay salaries. No, he's not giving you money. It's a political circle. It's a circus. They all belong together. He's settling the governors so that the governors can make sure he's re-elected. It has nothing to do with you. They cannot tell me they cannot get the number of Nigerians. They cannot transfer. Forget the lie they tell you. It's going to be difficult. It's not, because just now the tax system is comprehensive. It's inclusive. Every Nigerian is going to get involved in the tax system. So how did they get everybody? But they cannot transfer money to everybody. You see the system? When it comes to social benefits, they bring imaginary names. And the government say they will investigate and they end it. It's difficult. It's impossible. We don't have the IT or the infrastructure to do that. But we have the infrastructure to get funds, to collect taxes from Nigerians. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. The taxing is comprehensive. Everybody will pay tax. But there's no infrastructure to give everybody or to pay most people social benefits. Let's go with the second one, Medicaid. 1 in every 4 Americans enjoys Medicaid. That's free medical health. 1 in every 4. You're looking at 90 million Americans. That is 26%. Is that obtainable in Nigeria? No. Then where's the oil money going to? You look at housing assistance or Section 8. So many families, the government pays their rent. I can tell you that for a fact. 100% in America. That is, we are looking at 2.7% of the population. About 10 million Americans have government paying their rent. Can they try that in Nigeria? Is it possible? What of PANF cash transfer, where they transfer cash to individuals? 21 out of every 100 families receive this. 21 out of every 100. We are looking at 2 million Americans in 2023. That is 20% of the population. Are we talking about the tax credits? So when you have all these programs, all these benefits, I've not talked about the school buses. Most of the state, the school buses are free. I've not talked about the free meals for most of the poor kids from poor homes. Those who are not from poor homes, they have to pay but some little money. I've not talked about that. So when you have free bus picking up your child every day from the house, you think you will not go to work in peace? Think you will not come back in peace? Do you know the stress of dropping your kids in school and coming back to pick them up? How will you concentrate in production? So don't let them deceive you. You're looking at 141 and these guys are talking about election. Oh, there's agreement in Rivers State. Oh, this one, I delivered a 20 million vote to the president. Are you for real? You're not talking about how many people you improved their lives and took them out from poverty. I'm not talking about how many schools you renovated. Because I'm not even talking about building up. You don't need extra schools. We already have so many schools. We're not talking about how many families. We're not talking about the health insurance. We're talking about how many votes you got for Mr. Through what? Through rigging? Talking about defending mandate, renewed hope. Which hope? Are you renewing a hope that wasn't in existence? Let's do better. You know, we always, in Raging Hotmic, we always hold these politicians accountable. We hold them accountable. 3 years now, nothing to show. Forget about the numbers. Look at your pockets. Are you better off now than you were 3 years ago? You are worse off. That's enough. Don't need to speak big English for you. Don't need to give you political whatever and act like I'm in the opposition. Oh, what about the other one? He will make. What did you do? You are in power right now. Don't talk about another person. What have you done? The people are not feeling it. You still act like you're in the opposition. Still talking about other people. Let's do better. Thanks. Join me next time. Have a good one.